Page 5. So let's back up a little bit. So in the meantime, they had biopsied it. The guy went in. I remember he was all doing his breathing routines. He went in, and I had a big tumor here, some satellite tumors here, and bilirubin down in my lower right mesentery. He got it. Now, I didn't get to see the report until I got in to see Dr. Vacara, the surgeon. So the Vacara, the surgeon, he says, let's look at it. Okay, he'd never seen it. And he comes up, and I'm most nervous I've ever been in my entire life. Let's see what this biopsy said. And all of a sudden, he scrolls down and he says, benign. And I'm like, thank you, God. I was like, oh, and he says, no, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. That's when they took the snip out of your stomach. You had a hole in your stomach. And Dr. Taos had diagnosed me with an ulcer and loaded me up on the 3-way ulcer medicine, which they charged me $700, which almost killed me. I didn't have no ulcer. And so, anyway, he scrolls down and it's just blaring red. And he says, oh, God, no. And the number was 44. I know the marker now. Now, I had a dream earlier in August that year, the most utopic dream I'd ever had in my life. I was in Nevada and I was walking. I had gone broke. I was gambling. I was broke, and I reached in my pocket and I had a handful of change. I put it in a slot machine and I hit something and it kicked out a voucher for $12. I took the $12 voucher, and there's the biggest slot machine I ever seen next door, and I put it in there. First pull, I just went all in, all $12 max. And it went 4-4, Devoto, 44. And then it went these icons. They look like clams. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So it was 6 across, and it started spitting out money. First it spit out, it started going 1,000, 100,000, a million, 10 million, 100 million, a billion, 10 billion, and it just kept going. And I woke up. It was the most utopic dream I ever had. Well, you guys got this place looking good. Looks really nice.
Yep.
So, what an improvement around here, huh?
Oh yeah, we're doing our best.
It looks good. So, and so, I'm not going, no. And he says, I'm going to have to gut you. You know, I'm going to have to take it. I said, you know, it's scheduled. I said, no, you're not doing that to me. You know, and so, the next day, thank God, I got in to see Vincent Hansen, who I've known since I was a child. He was Thomas Blanch, the famous heart surgeon's partner. You know, and I've known Vincent since I was a kid. And I got in, he was late, I remember, and I threw down my stock portfolio. I said, Vincent, I have almost $1 million worth of stock right here. I'm not poor, I'm not broke. Quit treating me like that. And he says, no, Kevin, that's nothing to do with it. I don't care about that. And he says, I'm glad you didn't have that surgery. He says, let's bone marrow biopsy. I says, hey, I got on the internet and I was searching around and I found this YouTube video. It had 14 views from a doctor from Cedars-Sinai Hospital for his students. Had 13 views. And he said that he thought the pathologist on cancer in the lower right mesentery of men, tumors, got it wrong. Warner got it right, and he talked about how hard it was to diagnose. I says, I think it's wrong. I think the pathologist, which is a famous pathologist, you know, and he's so arrogant, he says, I've never had one wrong. Okay. Anyway, I said, well, let's bone marrow biopsy. Diane, who's my doctor now from San Diego, crawled up on my back, dug in. I've had 13 bone marrow biopsies, by the way. And Smeared, I'll call you in 2 days, Kevin. You go home and you lay low until I can get this handled. And later I found out, because one of the nurses I know is one of my old neighbors, said that him and the pathologist argued on the phone for an hour. Thank God for Vincent Hansen, which brother and father both died young of thyroid cancer in southern Utah. That guy saved my life, literally saved my life. And he says, so the next day he calls. This is on 11/10/11. I got sick on the 13th of October. This whole thing, I'd already gone from 170 to 119 pounds, or 130, I don't remember. So he calls, and his secretary calls. He says, you're